Welcome to the Flavor of South Florida, a weekly show that reviews South Florida's best Black-owned restaurants with their culinary delights and special libations. Now introducing our host, the dynamic Chef Irie.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Miami Gardens. Yes. Today, we are going to have something special for you. Yes, Miami Gardens, I am so happy to be here. I'm your host, Chef Irie, and this is another episode of Flavor of South Florida. And we are bringing to you our 3-part Roots and Recipe series, where we're going to be discussing healthy eating. Yes, Miami Gardens says we need to be eating healthier. So here I am. We're going to talk about it. We have 3 amazing chefs that are going to be coming here representing food, right? This is what it's all about. And we're going to be talking about the intersectional aspect of cultural heritage and eating healthier. So yes, I can't wait to see what our first chef is going to put up here for us to sample later. And that first chef, I think you all know him. You all know him. His name is Wilkinson Sejour, but you all know him as Chef Creole. My man. Yes, Chef Creole. Chef Creole, how are you? How are you? How are you?
I am doing great. And I can tell you guys, woo-wee!
Yeah, come on.
Let me get a woo-wee!
Yes, I love it, Chef. You have represented the community for the last 30 years.
31 years.
31 years, right? And you have brought to the community taste of Haiti, taste of Creole, taste of you. And you've represented that in your many restaurants that are here in South Florida. But today, you're here to tell the people how to make Haitian cuisine healthier. See, when you say Haitian cuisine, you can't just say Haitian cuisine. You gotta go Haitian cuisine. It's sexy, right? It is sexy. And that is why I'm here. So, Chef, what are you gonna be doing for us today?
Well, I mean, picture yourself walking through a garden and you have the opportunity to pick every vegetable that you see, and you're going to be creative enough to put some flavor to it. So you don't always need seafood or poultry to make something taste good. You just need to have the good fresh stuff and know how to be very, very creative with your herbs and your spices. And of course, what we'll be cooking today is one of the Haitian Creole favorites, and it's called legumes.
Ooh. Yes. All right. So me being the Jamaican in the house, you know, I would pronounce it legume, but no. It's
Legume.
Legume. Yes. So first thing that you have learned today is the pronunciation of legume. Yes. And what is in legume?
Oh, there are many ways that you can make legume, but some of the basic things in this legume is going to be eggplants, chayote,
Okay.
watercress,
Yes.
parsley, thyme, carrot, onion, red pepper, green pepper. I mean, it's just a monstrous of different vegetables. And what you got to do is make them all harmonize, just like when you have soprano, alto, and bass. You don't hear the different sounds. What you hear is the harmony that it creates, and that's what legume does for you.
I like it. So, you know, we didn't come here to have me just talk all night. We came here to see and experience how to put this dish together. So, you know, what you got? You gonna start for us, you know?
The first thing that we need to do when we're cooking legume is a 2-part thing. But at the same time, we're going to try to cook these things parallel. Okay, you could make vegetable taste very flavorful all by itself with the herbs and spices. Okay, so any of you guys out there that are vegetarian, you come to the right place because we're going to make this thing taste real good. but we also going to add some meat to it, all right? And the meat we're going to add is going to be a beef chuck. Now, the reason why I like a beef chuck is because it's got the bone in it. And as you know, it's the bone that has all of the what? Okay, so first things first, all right? It's very important that you purify your meat. And a lot of people think because the meat came from a professional establishment and looked all pretty with its presentation, you think that meat is ready to go. No. It has to go to what we call in the culinary word an acid bath. Now, what is the acid bath? What are the items that are acidic in the food term? It's going to be lime.
Lots of lime.
It's going to be sour orange.
Yes.
It's going to be vinegar. Now, these are the things that you use in order to clean your meat. Now, when you clean your meat, what you're doing is you're taking that existing blood that happens to be staining that meat. Now, that old blood, it creates problems. But if you get that blood out of it, you've given that meat a better and longer shelf life. All right? So first thing first.
By the way, Chef, what do you call this in Creole, this sour orange? What do you call it in Creole? I stumped him.
Zoyancy.
Zoyancy.
Ça, c'est citron. This is citron.
Citron?
And that's the zoyancy.
There you go. I mean, you came here to learn something, general people out there, you know, and Flavor of South Florida, we are bringing you everything that you need to know about the legume today, all right? Yeah, so for those of you who hate cleaning up, right? One pot dish is what it's all about. Everything in one pot, then you eat, and then you clean that one pot and the dish. That's it.
And once you do that, then you let all those vegetables sweat and mesh, come to a mush. It's going to take about 45 minutes. Now, you might have this impression that you were going to puree it. We don't want to puree because it's going to get too soft. We want it to have some kind of texture between a little bit of puree and a little bit of texture with all the different vegetables in there. So do not take it and blend it. That's called cheating. You don't do that.
Right. So,
all right?
Yeah, we don't want anybody to be cheating. So as a man said, look, all of this on this table, right? Look at this. All of this lovely goodness from the garden is going to go in this pot, right? So we're here in Miami Gardens talking about healthier eating. And that means more vegetables, right? More organic vegetables. Yes, we want all of that in our cooking. And listen, while he's doing what he's doing, we're going to go take a break because we got to go freshen up. And I got to come back and taste some of what, Chef Creole is making. So listen up, man. This is Roots and Recipes.
Live healthy, Miami Gardens.
We'll be right back.
To think about who we are. We're strength that can bring about change. We're talent, a lot of talent. We're tradition. We're brotherhood and sisterhood, unity. We're part of this nation's history and also part of its future. Because greatness is what our history is made of. The Children's Trust proudly celebrates Black History Month.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Gotta change around here. Gotta change around here. Yeah, Lord, gotta change around here. Say it loud, say it clear. We gotta change around here.
am Chef Irie, and this has been awesome. Chef Creole has been doing his thing, and this has been our very first episode of Roots and Recipes Live Healthy
Miami
Gardens. Live Healthy Miami Gardens. Live Healthy Miami Gardens. Yes. Listen, we're doing our thing here today, and Chef Creole has prepared this magnificent legume. And I'm looking into this pot. And Chef, you're going to have to talk some more about this legume because it smells miraculous in here. Miraculous in here.
Well, we created this for greedy people, not classy people that feel like they can't lick their fingers. Okay, let's get straight to it.
Oh my goodness! But I have a question. So you made this legume with the beef chuck, right? And obviously, legume can be made as a vegetarian dish.
Yes.
Right. So if you did not have, you wanted to have a protein, what other proteins could you use in the legume?
Well, you can use seafood, which legume really, when we ate legume with blue crabs.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then the second thing, if you had a little chips in your pocket, then you would eat legume with lumbi. That would be with conch.
Yes, and conch is very expensive these days.
So now we've gotten a whole lot creative these days. And now when I make legume, I make it with squid, I make it with lobster, calamari. So you get very creative when it comes to legume.
Yes.
But traditionally, legume is eaten with blue crabs, not snow crabs, not king crabs, with blue crabs.
Nice. So, it's interesting that we are here talking about Live Healthy, right? Live Healthy Miami Gardens. And the aspect of food from a cultural perspective, one of the things that I'm always cognizant of is sodium, right? And if we're going to talk about, eating healthier and living healthy here in Miami Gardens, we have to talk about our consumption of salt, right? Because that is very important. So how would you, as you're making this dish, making sure that the flavors are all there without a huge amount of sodium?
Well, the interesting thing about spices and herbs, if you understand how to make that combination between cayenne pepper, okay, and some cumins.
Yes.
All right, and then you take a little bit of oregano, some basil. Some of those combinations, you don't need to add salt in there. You'll get the flavor. Because what salt normally does is, salt happens to give you the intensity. Now, if you're gonna eat salt, you keep it very at a minimum and you eat sea salt, which is very, very good, but you keep it at a minimum. But always remember, when you're in the kitchen, you're not just a chef, you also become a scientist. And you have to understand what helps in this combination, what deletes this in this combination. And when you're talking about onion powder, garlic powder, you're talking about lemon pepper. Now, a lot of people are afraid of accent, okay? Why? They say that stuff right there, it eats you up from the inside. But if you didn't know, you could take lemon, just lemon with the pepper, and it almost gives you the same effect as accent. But you would never know that if you don't understand the science behind all of these herbs and spices. We got too much salt and pepper from our conception when it comes to us being in the kitchen, and we never, go off the side of the road and try to reinvent the wheel that of course exists anyway with different cultures.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. And it's interesting. The sodium and seasoning and the whole aspect of flavoring our foods, because both of us are from the Caribbean, right? You're Haitian, I'm Jamaican, and the thing that we love, bold flavors, right? Bold flavors in our foods. So you can't come to us with bland. We don't appreciate bland at all. We like the pimento, we like the thyme, we like, as you said, the cumin, the coriander, all of that stuff. We love, and of course, we love some heat, right? You know, I don't know about you, I love some heat, so that means Scotch bonnet, right? Scotch bonnet, not jalapenos, not serranos, Scotch bonnet, all right?
Not to cut you off, you guys have heard of clove, okay? Traditionally, you guys only use clove when? Can someone tell me? Thanksgiving. When you go ahead and put it in your ham. Do you know too much of clove in anything is going to make it taste tart and like, ugh. But if you put the right amount of clove in your cooking, your everyday cooking that you do today, it creates a whole different flavor that what people would say to taste your food is, oh my God, man, what you put in there. Clove is like a secret recipe.
Interesting. So you know what? So here's the deal. We're here talking about all this goodness and healthy stuff. But you know, I'd love to have a discussion. We're going to have a discussion with, a very famous nutritionist, yes? And her name is Ashley Cotwell, yes? She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, but she's also going to talk some more about what you did here, right? So, without further ado, yes, please welcome to the stage, Miss Ashley Cotwell, please. Hello. Yes. Do that again. Yes. Isn't she lovely? Yes. Man, you gotta stand in the middle, darling. You gotta stand in the middle.
Let me go ahead and put a little perfume on me before she comes in, right?
So, Miss Ashley.
The way to my heart, so that works.
Yes, so you're representing Eat Well Exchange.
Yes.
And we've known each other for a minute, and you have always expressed eating healthy is the best. But you've also expressed eating our Caribbean foods. Our Caribbean foods are amazing when done right and healthy. Tell us about it.
Yes, so a lot of times we're told that foods from our culture are not healthy. And that's problematic because those are the foods that are familiar to us and foods that we like and enjoy. But as you see today on this table, you see lots of vegetables. So that shows you that there's a lot of health benefits in our food. The issue is we just don't know about them. So it's so important to keep our cultural foods on our plates because that tells us a story of our family, of our traditions. Sometimes just smelling certain herbs and spices remind you of a family member. So it's so important that we find ways to keep those foods on our plate, but also we want to focus on health because right now we're trying to live healthy. So it's important that we find ways to use those same herbs and spices to bring flavor and also decreasing sodium like you mentioned earlier.
That's here the lady said decreasing sodium, all right? If you don't believe me, take it from the expert, right?
Definitely. It's important that we learn to grow our own foods. I know everyone does not have a large backyard where they can have an entire garden, but learning how to grow scallions, onions, simple things like that can make a difference. My main focus is just increasing more vegetables. So wherever you get your fruits and vegetables from, try to eat them more often. My recommendations, it's through the USDA. It's half a plate of fruits or vegetables for everything that you eat. So if we look at the legume today, we can already see half of this is primarily vegetables. So always keep that in mind. Half of every plate should be either fruits or vegetables. And if you can grow your own, but if not, still try to find a way to get at least 5 servings per day.
So before you leave, Ashley, could you leave the guests, because they're not audience. You all out there are my guests today. You are my guest, you're Chef Creole's guest, and you're Miss Ashley's guest. Leave them with 3 main tips that they can go and utilize in their kitchens.
Okay, the first tip that I would leave you with is to use herbs and spices to season your foods instead of a lot of the prepackaged seasonings. You're going to get more flavor that way, and also you're going to decrease sodium. The next recommendation is to increase more vegetables. So make sure in every dish you cook, you're adding vegetables, peppers, onions, scallions, carrots, whatever you can to that dish. The last one is it's okay to have some heat. So we talked about Scotch bonnet peppers, and those are very beneficial for our metabolism and also our overall digestion. So Those would be my 3 tips.
And it makes you hot.
Well, Chef Creole, you're already hot. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, this was our first episode of Roots and Recipes, Live Healthy Miami Gardens. Yes, it was presented to you by Live Healthy Miami Gardens, and we have wonderful professionals like Ms. Ashley and Chef Creole, and we are going to be knocking it out the park because we're all going to be eating healthier. And this legume is going to be delicious. We're going to break. We're going to be coming back. So, Roots and Recipes, live healthy.
In Miami Gardens.
We'll be right back.
Moment to think about who we are. We're strength that can bring about change. We're talent, a lot of talent. We're tradition. We're brotherhood and sisterhood, unity. We're part of this nation's history and also part of its future. Because greatness is what our history is made of. The Children's Trust proudly celebrates Black History Month.
Gotta change around here. Gotta change around here. We gotta change around here.
Welcome back. I am Chef Irie, and this is another episode of Flavor of South Florida. And I'm here with Chef Creole. And Chef, you did some things with the legume. And before I say anything else, I'm going to taste the legume.
Well, before you taste the legume, or while you're tasting the legume,
yes,
I want to make sure that we understand exactly the total process with the legume. Now, what he's tasting right now is a process of the meat cooking by itself, blanching itself, getting its color, getting its flavor, and the vegetables cooking by itself. Now you have to, in Creole they call it nous piler, nous servons pilon. We mash the vegetable up real good. I don't want you to put it in the blender, I want you to mash it up. And once you mash it up, then you transfer that and you put it with the meat, because it's the meat that's gonna help accelerate that flavor that you're looking for. And you let that cook for another 30 minutes, so that way everything meshes together. And voila, this would be your final product. Now, this is rice and red beans. They call it riz collé pois rouge. I love eating legume with white rice, sauce pois blanc de moignon. That's what I like to eat it with. But of course, today we are accompanying the legume with rice and red beans.
Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No interruption. Chef, no interruption. But as you are there tasting your own food, oh my God, that was so good. Listen, we're going to do something real quickly here. We're going to take a question from the audience because I want to hear from them what they think of this legume. All right, who do we have? Who do we have? Yes. Hi, how are you?
My name is Esther, and thank you, Chef Creole, for teaching us this wonderful recipe. I had a question because I saw that there are some variations throughout the city of Miami when it comes to legume, one of which I saw was papaya being added. I wanted to know your take on that. And then also, what would be a healthier side dish other than rice that we could accompany the legume with?
Okay. As time goes by, everybody gets creative. Just like if you look at New Orleans, what is New Orleans? New Orleans' conception when it comes to flavor came from Haitian slaves. But the New Orleans today has gone to so much of a transformation that most Haitians would say that's not the original way of doing things. But guess what? It is still Creole. That's why it's called Creole. Now, when people start to add papaya to what they're doing, it's not something that's popular, but it doesn't take away from them being creative, in order to satisfy their palate. Now, to your question on a healthier option, the healthiest option that you would use when it comes to eating legume is for you to create sauce pois. Okay? What is sauce pois? Sauce pois is bean sauce. Whether you want it red, whether you want it white, Whether you wanted chickpeas, sweet peas, that would be a healthier option with it because that again is another option of protein. And of course, the sauce pois, you don't have to put salt in sauce pois in order to make sauce pois taste good. Green onion and fresh garlic. That's all you do. And you got your sauce pois. And of course, make sure you put the ratio between the beans and the sauce in order for you to have the perfect texture because you don't want it too thick the way it chokes you.
No, we don't want the food be choking us, Chef Creole. No, we don't want the food choking us. We want to live another day. Chef, this has been amazing. Thank you for bringing the flavors of Haiti. Haiti, yes. The legume was amazing. And this is what it's all about eating healthy, right? But I want to thank the city of Miami Gardens. Live healthy, Miami Gardens. This has been an awesome presentation for Roots and Recipes. This has been our first part in a series of 3. And I hope that you come back for another episode of Roots and Recipes. Listen, this has been another episode of Flavor of South Florida. I want to thank Chef Creole. Yes, I want to thank our nutritionist, Miss Ashley Carter from Live Well Exchange. And I just want to thank the entire city of Miami Gardens. Yes! You guys rock! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go! See you later.
We are Black excellence.